At the Area Plan Commission last week, the Purdue Research Foundation, who is leading the charge for this new SK Hynix chip manufacturing plant, chip assembly plant, requested a rezone because they wanted to move sites. And the current site that they were on is already zoned I3, but the site they want to move to is not, and they had to go before the APC. And it was a very heated meeting. There were a lot of people against this, and it was a very, very interesting meeting, but not to bury the lead, but the rezone failed. And I'm a little wondering, what's next? I've asked some people, and I haven't gotten any direct answers yet as to what we might be looking at here. But let's take a look at what it is we're talking about exactly. Here in Salisbury, right here in the bottom right, is University Farms. Here's the West Lafayette Rec Center. Just to give ourselves a little context of what we're looking at here. The site that they're currently planning on building at is this purple rectangle right here. There's an existing chemical manufacturing facility standing on it, and they were planning on being here. But they wanted to move here, and this is the site they needed to have rezoned I3 in order to do that. And like I said, it failed after almost 2 hours of testimony from local residents who were against it, including some people from Purdue who said that they had worked on the president's task force to help bring SK Hynix here. And I don't know that we know what's next, because the only thing that we know at this point is that this is the current site, and their preference was to move to this site. The common thought leading up to that was that Hynix would go here, and then in the future their suppliers would move in here, keeping the supply chain close. What we don't know is this an all or nothing move. If SK Hynix can't get their move over here, are they still going to build here? Which raises the question for me. The points that were made talked a lot about accidents, pollution, dangerous chemicals, that sort of thing, and safe distances. And the distances that were talked about were measured in miles, 5 and 10 miles, lots and lots and lots of room. So I measured this on Google Maps the other day, and from center of site to center of site, it's about 2,500 feet, roughly half a mile, not even half a mile. So outside of moving the boundary away from these neighborhoods over here to the east, it doesn't really do anything to speak to the concerns that were raised. So if they go forward here on the original site, it almost feels like a battle that was waged for no reason whatsoever, because there are, of course, still the neighborhoods here where they've always been. They're just a half mile instead of right across the street, but we're still right next door to the neighborhoods to the northwest. What's this going to mean for the long term? I don't know, but what we do know is that the Area Plan Commission voted against it, and it goes to West Lafayette City Council for their final say. So the West Lafayette City Council can override area plan. 2 of the area plan commissioners that voted against it are West Lafayette City Council members who have gone on the record saying that they are going to vote against it, but there are still a bunch of unknowns on the West Lafayette City Council. Their meeting is on April 7th, so it's coming up in about 2 weeks here, and we're going to find out if West Lafayette is going to override APC or not. And then we're going to find out after that what happens next. Does SK Hynix continue to build in their existing location? Do the neighbors, do you guys rise up and say something about the existing plans? Does the factory move to, let's say, the airport district somewhere down there? We're still talking about inside of this exclusion zone of 5 and 10 miles. Yes, it's not across the street from somebody's house now, but it is across the street from a whole bunch of dorms down there. I don't know what the answer is. There's a balance between economic development and bringing good paying jobs, theoretically good paying jobs here to the area, employment, high-tech work versus the risks to the area. And one side, of course, says the risks are minimal, and the other side says the risks are major and unmanageable. Yeah, the truth is probably somewhere in between the two, as is most things on extremes. I'm not going to pass any judgments on risk versus not at this point, but this is definitely an ongoing thing. So what SK Hynix is going to do, I think we'll know more after the West Lafayette City Council meeting on April 7th, because if West Lafayette says yes, then the project moves forward. If they say no, the project can still move forward just in their existing location. So we'll see. While we wait for that, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you don't miss a minute of everything here on @Lafayette Live and the Lafayette Reel.